People ask me all of the time, how do I get up before 4 a.m. every day? And the answer is very simple. When my alarm clock goes off, I stand up and I do not lay back down. That is not me being a smartass. That is not me being difficult. That is me telling you the absolute only possible way to get it done. Much like the only possible way to get any other thing done is simply to do it. If you want to get up early, get up early. If you would like to start eating better, you start eating better. You stop eating bad food. How do you do it? You don't do it. You do not purchase the bad food and then consume the bad food. And you eat good food instead. How do you work out every day? Simple. You go to the gym or get yourself a home workout setup or learn how to do calisthenics, and then you do it every single day. How do you stop drinking? You no longer purchase and consume alcohol or don't drink drinks that other people have given you or anything along those lines. It's the same way that you stop smoking weed. You no longer smoke weed. That is the only way to accomplish anything in this world, period. I know people love to overcomplicate things and put all of these steps, and they have the 12 steps that you do in AA, but at the end of the day, none of that matters, because the only step that matters throughout this AA thing is no longer drinking. You could do every single other one of those things, but if you keep drinking, then you have failed. Conversely, you can simply not drink anymore and not do any of those other steps, and you have succeeded. You will now be a sober person because you no longer consume alcohol, and that is the only requirement to do that. You can do whatever it is that you would like to do simply by doing it. There are not fancy ways, there are not tricks, there are not life hacks, there is none of that. And what people are actually asking for when they inquire about those things is not what is the process of doing it. It is not what is the most efficient way to do it. It is how do I make this an easy and pleasurable and enjoyable thing to do? How do I make getting up early always feel good and make it so that I am always well rested and feeling amazing and excited about getting out of bed? When they ask about how it is that they go about some sort of diet, they are not asking how they actually do the diet. They are asking how they stick to it without getting cravings and without ever feeling hungry and without ever wanting to eat more than they are supposed to eat. And the answer to both of those is the same. You do not. You're going to be tired sometimes when you get up early. You're going to be hungry sometimes when you are on a diet. When you ask about workouts and you ask about finding the motivation, what you are actually trying to say is, how do I make going to the gym a very exciting and pleasurable and fun and enjoyable thing to do? And the answer to that, much like all of the other things, is you don't. The vast majority of the time that you work out, you are not going to enjoy it. It doesn't matter how much you like working out. Most of the time, you're not going to want to do it, but you do it anyway. You simply go and do the things. You do not need to be in the mood to do anything in order to be able to do that thing. You do not need to not have thoughts of doing something else in order to not do the thing that you were supposed to do. And just because you have a thought about something, just because you think about having a drink, or you think about smoking, or you think about eating a bunch of ice cream, or skipping the work that you need to do and watching Netflix and playing video games and hanging out with your friends, it does not mean that you need to do it. You simply need to do the thing that you are supposed to do. Nike had the greatest, or has, I guess, the greatest slogan of all time. That is all of the game that anyone can possibly give you in the whole entire world. And that is to just do it. It applies to every single thing in life. That is not an oversimplification. Anyone who tells you that is, again, just trying to go with the other thing that I said, which is, how do you make something infinitely pleasurable? How do you make it feel good? How do you make it enjoyable? And they cannot accept the fact that sometimes you just are not going to enjoy the things that you do. But that's life. When you do things that you don't enjoy, you get things things that you enjoy in return. I don't feel like working out all of the time. I very rarely feel like working out, but I like being strong and I like being in shape, so I go and do the workouts. I don't like doing work all day, but I have goals that I would like to accomplish, so I do the damn work anyway. And I am smart enough to know that there is no magical way to make it so it's the greatest thing in the world. It's not, and it won't be. All of the things that are fun, all of the things that are the greatest things in the world lead to you being where it is that you are now, lead to you being fat, broke, depressed, riddled with anxiety, directionless, excuse me, and a slave to vices and porn and all of this other nonsense. If you would like to accomplish anything in the world, you need to get used to the idea of doing things that you do not feel like doing. And you also need to know that the only way to get those things done is to get them done. Do you want to start a business? Amazing. Go start a business. You want to sell t-shirts? Get some t-shirts and sell them for more than you acquired the t-shirt for. Or I guess if you're dumb, sell them for less and lose money, or sell them for the same thing and break even. But the ins and outs of a thing do not change the thing. And people only ever use this idea or this excuse that they don't know what to do as a reason to not do anything at all. I'm aware that everyone does not know the world's greatest workouts, and that's perfectly fine. But if you go to the gym with the intention of exerting yourself and you try things, eventually you will figure it out. All of the machines have pictures, all of the machines have instructions. And if you don't want to do that and you're too lazy to figure out how to read, or maybe you're illiterate or something along those lines, then just look at someone who's in shape and do what it is that they are doing, and it will work for you in some capacity. Is that the way that you become a professional bodybuilder? No, it is not, but it is absolutely a way to get in shape and a way to get over your excuse of not knowing what it is that you need to do. The how behind most things is actually very simple, and people overcomplicating it is the reason that they do not ever get anywhere. They are difficult to do, but they are very simple in process. And those are two very different things. Whatever it is that you would like to do, you simply can just do. And until you just do the thing and stop looking for your life hacks and your tricks and all of your cheat codes and shortcuts and all of that whatnot, you are going to sit exactly where it is that you are. Because like it or not, there are people in the gym every single day who do not know anything about biomechanics, they don't know anything about scientific research. They don't know anything about the ideal split or even what the exercise that they are doing does, but they are in amazing shape because they go in every single day and they try. And conversely, there are people online who know all about all of these things. They know all the science and all of the latest studies and all of the biomechanics of a deadlift and a squat and all of this other whatnots, and they have deep, in-depth opinions about the ideal workout split, and they don't look like they have ever touched a weight in their life because they are not doing the one thing that they need to do to get in shape, which is exert yourself physically in some strength training capacity. There are people who are ripped as hell, who do not understand macronutrients, who do not understand calories, but they know that if you eat natural foods, then you will be pretty good to go. So that's all it is that they do. And what do you know? It works out. They don't try to overcomplicate the thing. They just do the thing. Anyone who is making a thing super complex either does not want to actually have to do the thing and is trying to find a way around it, or they are making the thing more complex because they want you to believe that they hold the magical answers and they want your money. Either way, it's nonsense. You could just do things. And until you just do things, you're never going to get things. Period.